So there's been a lot of talk about the 2025 NFL season for the Las Vegas Raiders and what type of moves the Raiders will make at the coaching position, if any, and will Antonio Pierce be fired at the end of the year, and what, if any, coach would come to replace him. And one name keeps popping up over and over again. And we're going to get into that here in this video. I want to show a little bit of the Dan Patrick show and what he was talking about. And there's a couple of key things that we really need to, pay attention to as far as what's going to happen with the Raiders moving forward. Let's dig into it right now.
Could you see a scenario where Bill Belichick would come back and coach the Raiders with Tom Brady as a minority owner?
Think about that for just a minute. Bill Belichick as a coach working for his previous quarterback who worked for him, Tom Brady, with the Las Vegas Raiders. That in and of itself would be a very interesting dynamic. How would that relationship even work? I mean, listen, Tom Brady, once he became a superstar, once he won probably his third Super Bowl, he probably had just as much say on that team as Bill Belichick did. So in all reality, I think that the two would be able to work together just fine. However, there's a few things that you need to take into consideration. Number one, and Dan's going to talk about it here in a second, is look at Bill Belichick's lifestyle right now, and is he even really interested in coming back into football and being a head coach again? And then number two, is he washed up? Because he wasn't able to do a whole lot of anything without Tom Brady.
And I'm thinking, I don't see that happening. Now, Bill has hit this fountain of youth with his girlfriend, and maybe you want to just go out there and you want to live the lifestyle and you want to be in Vegas, baby.
I mean, if you haven't seen the pictures of Bill Belichick with his grotesque body in board shorts and no t-shirt on the beach with his what appears to be great-granddaughter, but I guess it's his girlfriend. Can anybody say sugar daddy? It's pretty wild. Here's the thing, man. I don't know that Bill Belichick is actually interested in becoming a head coach again, especially with a team like the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, there is a coach, a younger, more dynamic coach who has turned an organization completely around and into a winning organization when it was a know-nothing organization for over 20 years. And we're going to talk about that coach here in just a second. Because remember, if you've been following me for any amount of time, I broke the news to you that this particular coach is a favorite of Mark Davis to come and take over at the end of this season.
But that would be interesting if Tom Brady was sort of Bill Belichick's boss in this situation. I do see this scenario. I have no information whatsoever. What if the Raiders had the number one pick? And I'm Mark Davis. Would I say to Deion Sanders, we're going to take Shador, and we want you to be our head coach?
Boom. I told you guys 2 weeks ago that according to my sources within the Las Vegas Raiders front office, that Mark Davis actually has it in his head. He went to the scouting team and told the scouts, we want you to pay very close attention to Shador Sanders this year. But also, I want a full dossier on his father, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime. Because apparently, he is infatuated with Deion Sanders and Shador loves the Raiders, as he has been tweeting out every time the Raiders lose, oh, thank God, because he wants to come to the Raiders. And Deion said he would love for his son to play for the Raiders. Deion also said in another video that I broke earlier, where Deion is on record saying that there are some teams where my kids can go, and there are some teams they can't and won't. So Deion Sanders is going to have a very big say where Shador goes. And all of the stars have lined up. Everything appears to be on track for Shador Sanders to be coming to the Raiders. But the biggest question is, will Coach Prime be making prime time with the Las Vegas Raiders as the head coach in 2025?
I don't think it's crazy. And if you're the Raiders, what's the downside? You got to get your quarterback, and you can love Antonio Pierce, but if you get Deion, his son, in Vegas, now we become relevant. They're not relevant. Even with Tom Brady as a minority owner. Now, Brady, see, I wonder, they fired the entire offensive staff with the Raiders' loss. Tom Brady's doing the game, isn't he?
Yeah, how crazy is that? Like, Antonio Pierce fires his staff. Did Mark Davis know that this was going to happen? Did he have a conversation with Tom Brady? And who made the decision to fire Luke Getsy and the offensive coordinator and the quarterback's coach? Who was the one who made the actual decision? Now, we know that Antonio Pierce says that the decision was his and his alone. But as the decision comes out, what prior knowledge did Tom Brady have that Luke Getsy was out the door? And maybe Tom Brady was the one who said Luke Getsy's got to go. Because remember, Tom Brady understands quarterback play and he understands winning offenses. And what the Raiders have had, it ain't it.
Tom know what was going on as a part-time owner, a minority owner?
Because he would be mad if he didn't. Was not given a heads up.
I don't know if he's doing double duties where he's doing the game, but he's also being informed that, by the way, we're going to release the entire offensive staff here. It's problematic with Tom trying to do both of these things.
Agreed.
And it's not something you normally focus on because we do trust that the analysts, they go to practice, they get a lot of inside information. Some coaches more forthcoming, some quarterbacks more forthcoming. But you need to have your announcer know what's going on. He's not allowed to go into these meetings. Now, can he get that information? Yes. But if you said Tom Brady got to go in the locker room and say to Patrick Mahomes, I'm curious about this. Chances are Mahomes is going to tell Tom that. But he's not allowed to exchange information or get information because he works for the Raiders.
Yep.
Crazy.
And the question really is now, how long will Tom Brady actually stick to Fox and being a commentator on games? Because, in fact, in one of his most recent games that he was a commentator on, he actually criticized a referee for kicking out a player, and that, according to the NFL rules, goes against a owner criticizing the refs publicly. So will Tom Brady be sanctioned by the NFL for doing his job on Fox as a commentator during a game? Honestly, long term, I don't believe that he will continue with Fox, maybe not even past this year. First, there's a lot of criticism that he's not actually that good at doing what he's doing, but he's got to get that money because he just invested a lot into the Raiders. I think long term, he now has his dream, and his dream is to be an owner of a franchise. He is now a part of the Las Vegas Raiders, and I think that he's going to want to play a bigger role with the Las Vegas Raiders down below. Guys, if you want to enter to win your free Max Crosby t-shirts that we're giving away, plus we have a grand prize, you don't even know about it yet, make sure that you comment down below, draft QB, that is the winning phrase, as we'll be selecting random commenters on each one of these videos once they've hit a certain mark, and we'll be doing prize giveaways.